Age of Annihilation is here, and yes, the HeroScape game we know and love is back in production, bringing all of us all new units to play with, and even though the Master Set and Battle Box and Renegades HeroScape.com is now releasing monthly scenarios, developing new gameplay and lore. So let's talk about competitive armies. For this video, let's turn to the very popular community-created website, HeroScape.org, and let's look at a recent tournament event, the NorCal AOA October Skirmish. Now, I won't be going to this event because, well, I'm on the East Coast, but I wanted to showcase an event that requires its players to recruit Age of Annihilation units. Now, the point cap is 420, and there is an 18-figure and 24-hex limit. So, for those that are new to HeroScape and to the tournament scene, I will explain that what I just reviewed was the tournament format. The rules that all players must follow to creating an army to bring to this event. So hypothetically, if I would attend this event, let's create 3 armies that I could bring. Alrighty then. We are on HeroScape.org software, the best place that Chris Perkins could have ever created for us to build armies, to do scoring, to figure out damage, find maps, tournaments, conventions, even your own stats for when you go to tournaments, because we need to go find that North Cal tournament scene. I mean, I could do it this way. I mean, this is how you do find tournaments in your area by scrolling through all of this. There it is. There it is. So we found it. There was another way for us to do it because we right now. Oh, cool. Trustkeeper's going. MK Plus Ultra is going. Awesome. I know those guys. So we could just go click here and go Army Builder, and this will give us all the requirements to build this army. Or we could just go to Builder, click on Tournament Builder, click on the tournament, and then scroll down till when we see, there it is, North Cal AOA Skirmish. This is the tournament that we want to build an army for. So, like I said in the intro, the 420 points is the max. That is what, you cannot go over that number. 420 is the max amount of points you can use for your army. You can go below it. I mean, if you can only have like 415, that's fine. So you could do that, but you can't go 425. Can't do it. So 420 is our max amount of points. For our other requirement, 24 hexes and 18 figures. Now, 18 figures, that's easy to figure out. Count amount of figures. But the hexes, now if you're using a lot of the peanut bases, 2 base units, and you go over to 25, can't do it. Only 24 hexes are allowed. That's the amount of space you have, essentially, in your army, is your 24 hexes and 18 figures. Other requirement, boom, at least 220 points must be from the new AOA unit. So let's actually start there. And the best way we can do, best way to figure that out, if you're not familiar with what characters are in there, is we can go to this little drop-down box and go to Release Set. And this will show you all of the master sets and expansions that ever came out. In order, too. Rise of the Valkyrie, Maladon's Prophecy, Ukar's Rage, and so on. So let's go all the way to the bottom. Okay, we got Revenant's Rebuke, which is technically still not in our hands at this time period, but hopefully soon. Cornelius Breach. The Derelict Prince is still obviously not in my hands currently at this time. But we have Shuri. We have Alexander Drake. We got everything from the Battle for the Wellspring. And we got everything from the Age of Annihilation Master Set. Now, when it comes to Age of Annihilation and the Battle Box and Sergeant Drake and Shuri, I really would want to bring Zenithrax. I think Zenithrax is super cool. When did they add the figures? Chris, you keep adding things. You need patch notes. I need to get emailed patch notes. That's so cool. Is everybody's got that? No. Apparently Zenithrax is the only one that has that currently. That's awesome. I love that. That is so cool. I love that, how if I clicked on anyone else, that would have never happened. 220 points. Now, 200 is very close to 220, so we still need 20 points worth of AoE units. So I'm going to add Zenithrax. Zenithrax, we got to have green scales. So I just wanted to add that to the list here. So we still need 20 more points, or at least 20 points more. So if I was an AoE unit, what is the smallest amount of points, just so I can fit as many green scales as I can? Kita the Spring Runner has 30 points. So that fits the bill. Green Scale Warriors, Kita the Spring Runner, and Zenithrax the Vine Weaver. We're at 290 points. We have 5 figures, and we're using up 6 hexes. That's fine. So at this point, we have to get to 420, or at least as close as 420 as possible. So let's just keep adding green scales. All right, so we're at three squads of green scales. We're at 410. So we need 10 more points, and we could. There's not a ton, but there are 10 pointers. So I'm gonna type in points low to high, and we'll scroll all the way up. And there's Isamu and Otanashi. So based on power rankings and experience, I think I would want to add Isamu. So right now, the army we're looking at is 3 times green scales, Isamu, Kita, and Zenithrax the Vine Weaver. That's a pretty decent army, I think. I don't know. You let me know. What do you think? Now, we're not done. I think we're going to find some other options here. So we're just going to save this. We're going to save this one as, remember, as an option. This one. If I was going to this event, I'd be shocked not to see Raylan the Kairi Warrior and Lovi Attack. Now, we're at 180 points right now. That is not the 220 that we need. So we need to add at least, doing math in my head, 40 more points. 40 more points to hit that that point limit. So we could always use Anshu, the other small beast. So now we're at 230 points. Now, since we are using Raylan, the Kairi Warrior, and Lovi Attack, I feel like it's only necessary that we... Now, maybe some of you already called it out. Use the minions! Use the minions! We could use minions. So let's look at what... Let's look at minions. There you go. Minions. So minions will get me up to 340. So now we're not... We're only getting 1 squad of minions, which is not great. Not great. I was thinking knights. That was it, Death Knights. So let's add Death Knights. Now Death Knights are all also a squad, not also, but Death Knights are a squad of 2. There's only 2 in the army. So not great, but they're soul weapons. Figures attacked by a Death Knight of Valkyrie subtract 2 from their defense. And they have Unholy Bonding. So I'm blocking a little bit of this, but it says before taking a turn with the Death Knights of Valkyrie, I can also switch. Boom, right there. Before taking a turn with Death Knights of Valkyrie, you may first take a turn with any small, medium, or large relentless hero. Both Lovi Attack and Raylan are relentless. We're at 290 with 1 squad, 2 squads, 3 squads. Okay, so that's not bad. Having 6 Death Knights. Now, Death Knights are pretty tanky. 5 defense is pretty tanky. And with having support from Anshu. You could always send Anshu out early. You could always send her out late. Up to you. And then we're stuck with that 410, just like with the last army that we did. And once again, we could always just add our friendly Isamu. And then we're at 420. Boom. 10 figures and 11 hexes. If I shrink this, then you can see everything above. There you go. Boom. So that's also a pretty good choice. I think that's pretty solid. When I build armies, one thing I think about is how many cards am I bringing? Because when you go to a tournament, now I don't know if anyone else thinks this way. Let me know in the comments. If I'm building an army and bringing it to a tournament, not every store has a lot of space on the table for your cards. Now, a lot of people, when I went to ScapeCon 4, had the baseball card designs of the HeroScape cards. Obviously saves tons of space. Now, thematically, or I guess not, I guess thematically, because I like connecting the shapes of the cards together. I think a lot of people might agree with me, hopefully. Cross my fingers. That is a fun thing to do, and I love doing that. So, bringing, I think the most I've ever bought was like 8 cards, and I was like running the Cowboys, the VC Cowboys army. With that, and Ranjit. Tons of cards. But I think 5 cards is a pretty decent number. But I think 3 to 4 is like solid too. Anyway, I don't know if anyone else thinks that way about conserving your own space and convenience at a tournament. But as a beginner, something to consider. Sometimes you want to keep in mind of your convenience. That's all I want people to think about. At least one aspect to think about. So, Death Knights of Valkyrie, Isamu, Lovi Attack, Anshu, Raylan. What do you guys think? Let me know. Yes or no, would you bring that army? We could look at the Pirates. Now, the Pirates, I have not playtested yet in full. But let's see. Okay, I don't think we'll have a problem with the Pirates, because the Pirates can really work on their own from their Master Set and Battle Box. So, adding Admiral EJ1M, or EJIM, Admiral EJIM. So we have him at 170 points. And he's going to be pretty much our leader, even though he's a, what do they consider? Admiral. He's an Admiral. Duh. Admiral EJ1M. Then we can look at we gotta add the Exiles. Gotta add the Knaves. Now, the Knaves? Yes, the Knaves have the bonding. So, the Captain's Way, at the start of the game, choose a unique captain you control to be the Knaves of the Silver Scimitar's captain for this game. Knaves of the Silver Scimitar roll 1 additional defense die against attacks from a non-adjacent figure when their chosen captain is within 4 clear sight spaces. And then Captain's Orders essentially is bonding with a captain or pirate hero you control. So, or a pirate hero. So they could technically also bond with Admiral, right? No. Because he's an Admiral. So what's a pirate hero? Are there any pirate heroes? Dorm is a pirate hero, but he's not a captain? Is that because of future units, right? I think that's because of future units. Because the Captain's Way is you have to control... choose captain for this game. Names of the Scimitar, roll this die. Unique captain, yeah. So Dorm is not a captain. So we could add him for bonding. Because he is a bit cheap. Well, 100 points is not that cheap, but... adding Dorm to it. If I'm reading this charge... Sorry, I'm blocking this again. My big head. If Dorm, the Bulkhead Brawler, attacks an opponent's figure during his turn, the move value for all of your army cards is increased by 1 until the next time you reveal an order marker. So it would have to be for bonding. So essentially what you would do, okay, so let's add Dorm to the army, just to increase some speed, right? So we add Dorm. The Knaves would use Captain's Orders. Move with Dorm. Dorm would move, attack, and then give the Knaves an extra movement of 6, making it 6. But then they don't have the Captain's Way. The Captain's Way, they don't get that bonus because of him. So maybe 420 might be a little too low for him unless we get rid of the Exiles. But I feel like we need some squads. All the other squads are like... All the other armies we had a couple squads. Raylan had the Death Knights that was at least 6 squads. Or 6 figures. And of course the Zenithrax army had 3 squads. That's 9 figures of greenscales. So... these guys are 1 life each. So I feel like you need both squads here. So I don't know if Dorm's the right pick for this particular format. But and that's just because of the 420 max cap of points. I think if in a bigger army he might be better. So the other characters, we could do Killian Vane. Killian Vane is a pirate hero, but once again, we're not getting the Captain's Way. And so I don't think there's any other captains. No. So that only leaves us with Bokbernah. Bokbernah being the Morrow pirate. And he is considered a captain. So we would be getting that bonus. So if we add him into this. Oh, we don't have enough points. We're at 310. He's 125. So once again, we got to get rid of the Exiles. Add in Bokbernah. We don't have to worry about that 220. The 220 at least, filter. See, I don't like how this is turning out. They're very pricey. They're quite pricey. I don't know if we're getting a good enough army for this. Fia Bonnie's a captain. She's at 80. So let's get rid of Bokbernah. Sad. Add back in the Exiles. Head over to the Battle for the Wellspring. Add Fia Bonnie. So at least we're getting the Captain's Way being triggered. Then we're at 390. So we're about 30 points. 30 points away. So that now I feel like we're getting a bang for a buck. So actually, to be able to do a full Age of Annihilation army, we got Admiral EJ-1M, Exiles of the Sundred Sea, Fia Bonnie, the Void Siren, and Kita the Springwetter, and the Knaves of the Silver Scimitar. So that's a pretty good lineup. That's an army I could take for this event. It's 11 figures, 11 hexes, 420 points. That's pretty solid. So I like that. I think that could really work. Those are 3 different armies that I could bring. I'm sure there are more. So let me know in the comments below. Hey, are you MK Plus Ultra or anyone else going to this event? Let me know in the comments below what you think. What armies are you bringing to this tournament? Are you going into a tournament soon? National HeroScape Day is upon us. head out to your local game store, go find a tournament using HeroScape.org or the HeroScape Battle Network. Find an event, go get your own Cornelius Breach. And if by chance you can't go, that's okay. Don't worry, you can get your own Cornelius Breach later in the year on the Renegade website. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, I am not crazy. I'm Joe Crazy.